Hey, everybody. If this is your first time seeing me on the screen, this is Joanne Marime, your career and confidence coach. I have been intending to start getting very serious about live streaming and coming on lives because God has been putting it in my heart that it's time to take my stuff very seriously. And so, yeah, you're gonna be seeing much more of this face. Hopefully, I will do my best. I'm not gonna promise that I will be here every day. I will try a lot to be here during the weekdays. Um, Starting from 4:30 or 5 p.m. every single day, you're gonna see me here weekdays. And then we'll see how far we can go. So if this is your first time, sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. My name is Joan Marime. I'm a career and confidence coach. I live in Austin, Texas, and I hail from the beautiful country of Kenya. So I'm a Kenyan American right now, and I'm super, super blessed to be here, and also super blessed to be doing the things that I'm doing today. Because never in my wildest dreams did I ever imagine that I would be doing the things I'm doing today, that God would have allowed me to be as impactful as I have been, and to be even staring it in my heart and putting it in my heart that I need to start getting my story out, so that because He did not just bless me for me, He blessed me so that I can be a blessing to as many people as I possibly can be. So blessed to be a blessing. Okay, so as I say, today is not about coaching or teaching. This is about sharing a little bit about my story. So, I was born and raised in a small village in Kenya called Nyamira. I am a Kisi. I am a child to two amazing parents who are educators. And so my mom and dad were both teachers. My mom, she passed away sadly about 24, 25 years ago this year. But she was a primary school teacher, and my dad was a high school teacher. So when you're born in a household full of teachers, you have no choice but to be an A student, right? Because if anybody knows or has been raised by African parents, you know what that looks like. I don't need to tell you. You know it. It's all about, hey, how are your grades? What's going on with that? What's going on there? And I'm so grateful that God chose them to be my parents, because they did an amazing job. They did an amazing job, not just on me, but on my siblings. I have three siblings, two boys, two brothers, one sister. And for those who might be asking, how old are you? I am 38 years old, and I am super proud to be here, because I think a lot of people have a lot of stigma when it comes to age. And I'm like, why do you have a stigma? I mean, I look 38. I am 38. I am exactly on time. There's nothing wrong with my age, my race, my weight, my height. God got it right. So if somebody has been telling you, as a woman, you're expiring, or even as a man, time is running out, you're expiring, I want you to ask yourself one question. Who is this person who's telling you this? Is it God? Because if God is telling you time is running out, you better run. Like, you better be on your toes and you better run. But if God is not telling you this, then who set this social clock that we are all running against? And that's a story for another day, because again, that is a topic we will discuss on, the myths of that we've been told since we were young, right? You have an expiry date, especially as a woman, that, oh my God, when you hit 30, your value goes down. For me, when I hit 30, my value went up, because in my 20s, it was absolutely rubbish. It was rubbish, and it's not everybody. It just was me. It was my path, right? My 20s were hard. My 20s were, I have no wish to go back there, because my 20s is when I was in the training ground, I believe. And God had me go through a Joseph moment. When Joseph was struggling, and he was a slave before he ascended within 24 hours to become the second in command of Egypt. I'm a Christian, very proud to say that. Am I perfect? No. So don't come at me. I am not perfect. But I love the Lord. And I know the Lord loves me. I love Jesus, and I know Jesus loves me. And he says, listen, I came for you, the ones who are not perfect. So I will be the first person to let you know that I am not perfect, but I know who my God is. And I know exactly why he put me here. I don't know everything, but I know he has called me for such a time as this. And so there's nothing that is running late in my life. There's no, I should be moving faster or I should have done things differently, because if I had done things differently, I would not be where I am today. So super glad. And I would not have such an impactful story that I intend to share with you guys going forward, because I want to make sure that I'm doing my part. Where I see a need, I'm going to meet it, you know? And I see a need for more people to come out with stories of hope instead of stories of woe. And I know life is hard, but I also want to let you know that if you do the things you're supposed to do, if you refuse to give up when it's all bleak, if you move when God tells you to move, and if you seek coaching, mentoring, and you take action, you can do all things through Christ who is your strength. So I'm a big believer in self-development. I'm a big believer in going for your dreams. I'm a big believer in, if you dream it, you can do it. So going back to my story, so I for sure thought, I was always an A student. And so I knew that if I just, did the thing, got A's all my life, right? If I just graduated with my computer science degree, I would get out there and everything would be great. Little did I know that that was not true. My life was not great. If anything, I stepped into tribulation. I got out of school. I think I was 21, 22 years old, and I got my first job in banking in Kenya, and I was laid off 2 years down the line. And when I was laid off, I remember telling my dad, I can't believe I've been laid off at 23. Like, who does that? Like, what am I supposed to do with my life now? And so life was hard, guys. I was homeless a bunch of times in my 20s. I think when everybody's in their little, struggle period, nobody really sees the other person struggling. But it's funny when I tell my story and some of my family members, aunties, uncles, have no idea that I was going through such a rough time, but I was. And so my dad, my mom passed away when I was 14 years old. And my dad did a wonderful job of raising us. So I have nothing but good things to say about my parents. God made it right? God did a good job. And so I'm going to have to plug in my computer. Just give me 1 second. Let me do that. And then I'll be right back. And yeah, I have to adjust my desk as well. Okay, there we go. Hopefully that works now. Good. So I am not an expert at any of this. I'm just taking my own advice and taking action and saying, I'm just going to start. I don't know anything about streaming. I don't know anything about running a successful, social media, channel or anything like that. But hey, we are going to stumble and learn together. So that's my biggest takeaway from a lot of the coaches that I've always, followed. They tell me this, Joanne, just start and then the rest you will figure it out. So I'm just starting. Don't expect me to be fancy or anything. I'm just going to come here and give you my expertise and my story and really want to let you know that I'm here to help you as a career and confidence coach. And sorry, this is my cat. She wants to be on the live, but she's gone away. But anyway, that is neither here nor there. So fast forward, there I am struggling in my 20s, working every job imaginable. I was homeless a couple of times, couch surfing from one person's, couch to the next one brother's house to the next one brother's couch to the next one friend's house to the next one. Working, I worked in Dandora, which is one of the most, dangerous places to work in as a woman. in a warehouse. This is an A student who went to Alliance, who went to the best schools, supposedly, and I cannot find a job in my chosen career, right? And so I move forward, and I am now 29 years old. And I'm feeling really, really, really old at that point because I'm not married. I don't have a career to speak of. Um, Life was hard. I will share some of my photos of back then so that you guys don't think I'm making this stuff up. I am not. And life was hard. But in parallel, what I did not know then was that God was preparing me for the biggest, to catapult me into my destiny. And had I not gone through the things that I went through then, there is no way I would have taken my destiny as seriously as I do today. There is just no way. So he had to let me go through the tribulation as much as the devil wanted to break me, right? As much as life wanted to break me, he had to let me go through that so that then when I came back to this, right? When I got to this, I would be great at it, right? So fast forward, I had been applying in parallel to come to the United States, and I had received, guys, not one, not two, not three, 6 rejections. So if you've ever walked to the Gigiri embassy, the US embassy in Nairobi, I know most of you have done it maybe once or twice. I did it 6 times. And it was all rejections. No, 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 no. And I remember getting so depressed. So depressed. After every episode, I would come back home and I'd be like, my life is over. And I would stay in my room, closed in my room. I would stay there for a week just trying to figure out what do I do next. And then I would pick myself up and start again. So I'm telling you this to let you know that if you're in that position right now where you're feeling like life is over, you don't know anything, you're not even sure what God is doing with you right now, then just know that you're not alone, that there is light at the end of the tunnel, right? That God is with you. God has not forgotten you. You just have to keep putting one step ahead of the other. And you have to be willing to get help. You have to be willing to learn how to become the CEO of your career, because those are some of the things we are not taught in school. At least I wasn't taught. I don't know whether you have been taught, but even here in America, you're barely taught exactly what you're supposed to be doing. So when I moved to the United States, I moved with less than $20. Finally, God said yes. That's a story for a whole other day, right? Another session, another episode. But when God finally said yes, I got to the United States with less than $20 to my name. My dad gave me $20 at the airport, and I had some lunch or something along the way. So I got to Washington, D.C., Dallas airport, and I remember kissing the ground and saying, God, if you help me, I will go back and help your people. And now, little did I know that prayer was impactful, because I thought that, God didn't even hear me, the way you normally pray and just keep it moving. But God heard me, loud and clear. And I can tell you, for all those who are feeling lost, behind, time is running out, oh my God, you should have had children by now. You should have had a husband by now, or something like that. Or you should have had a fabulous career. This is my cat, Sunshine. She's feeling a little like I've been working all day. So she's like, Mommy, what's up? So I have 2 cats as well. So this is my Sunshine. So anyway, for those who are feeling like you're behind, you're something, I don't know, like there's so many things that run through my head sometimes. And I have to remind myself that I'm right on time. There is nothing wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with you either. It's just God's timing. And when God opens that door and catapults you into into your destiny, it's going to be like a nuclear bomb. That's the best way I can describe it. Because what happened to my life in terms of my career has literally been like a nuclear bomb. That I can tell you for sure. And so fast forward, I learned my first internship at ExxonMobil. And then I ended up landing a full-time position at ExxonMobil as well. And then I worked there. I traveled the world. I was able to lead amazing, projects, meet amazing people. And what that taught me was, it wasn't that I wasn't good enough. It's that I was in the wrong I hadn't met my tribe yet. That's how I want to describe it. I hadn't met the people that saw me other than just as a black woman, or as someone that we know that doesn't have any influence of any kind, or doesn't have parents who are rich or anything like that. So I'm here to tell you that you don't have to have a father who is rich, or a mom who is rich, but you need to know God, because God is my dad and he knows me. And so since I know God, then that's all I need to know. So choose, though, for those people who say you don't know God, there's no God, look at your life. There's something going on there, because everybody has to choose a side. So you can choose the devil or you can choose God, but I choose to choose God because I know that God is the biggest force in the world. He's the creator. So why would I not choose him? Why would I choose the devil, right? It doesn't make sense to choose a created spirit over the creator. So I'm choosing the creator because he loves me. He loves me. Oh my God, he loves me. Anyway, so fast forward, right? So I have been able to work not only in the biggest oil and gas company in the world, I've been able to work at AWS. I worked at Amazon, one of the biggest tech companies in the world. And now I work at Microsoft, my dream company from when I was a child. And I'm working as a software engineer, right? I did finance for a little while over there, and I was like, this is not my calling. So I went back to software engineering. I now work as a senior program manager at Microsoft, and my day job involves bringing a lot of revenue to the company in terms of the cloud and AI space. And I can tell you for sure, I've learned so much. I've been in front of presidents. I have spoken in front of people I never thought I would. And this is a girl that started from Nyamiras, somewhere where nobody even knows where that is, right? So if you're feeling like life is hard, right? Like you've been forgotten, like you're too old. Because I remember when I was 30 years old and I was in grad school and I felt like the oldest person in the world. And I remember some of my friends snickering actually one day and saying, oh, you look like a 50-year-old woman. Maybe I did. Because I can tell you for sure, life was hard for me when I was in Kenya. So by the time I was 30, I felt like I was 100. Because if you've ever worked in a slum, if you've ever walked a million miles without knowing where to get money from, if you've ever been homeless, then of course you're going to look like you're 100 years old. So I'm just here to let you know that, first of all, have empathy for people, have love for people, because you don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're going through. They're barely maybe just holding on for just to try and make it, right? So you don't have to the world is already hard enough. You don't have to beat them down. They already know they're down. So you don't need to beat them down again, okay? So as we continue, as I keep on coming on here in my space, on my channel, in the podcasts that I will be doing with many, many different people and the people I invite on this channel, I just want you to know that this is a space of positivity. This is a space where I will come, I am not a negative person. So if you are going to come here with a negative story, if you're going to come here to discourage people, that is not my calling. My calling is the opposite of that. So save your negative comments to yourself, but if you have something positive to say, please put it here, because there's already just too much hurt in the world. If you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. I know there's a rhetoric that goes around that when you come to America, you've come to suffer. That's not been my story. It's been the exact opposite. So I want us to at least have the opportunity to see, and let me just get this cat out of here, have the opportunity to see what a positive experience it can be if you listen to God telling you, do this thing. Get out of your comfort zone. Try something new. What would your life look like if you just decided to listen to God for once? What would your life look like if you stopped doing the same thing over and over again and got a coach to help you? Because that's what I did. I got a coach, and the career coach told me this. She was a black lady, and she's still a really good friend. And she said this: Joanne, you're a black woman in America. Things are different for you. You're going to have to work harder. But if you do the things I tell you, you're going to do well. And by the way, that is what I teach in my course, right? I have courses, I have books, I have all of that. That is what I teach, because I don't want to teach you something that I don't do for myself. So I am the CEO of my career. I don't blame the government. I came to the United States when Trump was president for the first time, during the first, his first period of being president here, right? And so politics was never on my side. I'm a black woman. Of course, I was not meant to succeed. But that did not affect me in any way, shape, or form. So you will not see me talking about politics, talking about any of that, because all of that doesn't matter. What matters is you and what you're willing to do. Are you willing to take charge of your career? Are you willing to take charge of your life and stop blaming the president, the economy, the changes, the what, AI, all of this stuff? AI is here to stay. I work in the AI space. So I'm not going to tell you that change is not coming. Change is coming. But the question is somebody going to take your brain and dump it in the river because AI has come? No. We just need to adapt. We need to understand what the jobs of the future will look like and align ourselves to those jobs, right? We need to understand what services will be needed in the future and align ourselves with those jobs, those services. So stop panicking and freaking out. What I would do and what I'm doing for myself is showing up every day, being excellent, building my brand, showing up as the thought leader in my chosen fields, and trying new things like this, spreading the word that, hey, your career can be excellent. Okay? So my name again is Joanne Marime. I'm a career and confidence coach. I hail from the beautiful country of Kenya, and I live in the United States today. And I will be coming on live very many times. And we will be having so much fun together. I will try to bring guests when I can. But most of the time, it's just going to be me and you having fun together. If you have questions about my story, and if you feel like you've been impacted and you have a particular topic that you would like for me to cover, or anything that you'd like for me to answer, I am happy to, read your comments. And as I said, if you're negative, that's not going to work for me. I'm going to block you right away. But if you're positive, we are going to talk about anything you want us to talk about. And if you're feeling just discouraged, I am here to encourage you. You are amazing. You're fabulous. You are beautiful. You're exactly where you're supposed to be. You don't have to be white. You don't have to be yellow. If you're white, black, yellow, that is exactly what God wanted you to be. And we need you. We need you. So I am that voice of positivity. I choose to live my life in a positive manner. And so no matter what you're going through, just know your black sister over here, your African sister, the dancing queen, the girl that always sees the positive over the negative is here to help you succeed. So that's all for today. I will see you on the next one. Thanks.